I'm going to be extremely quick and to the point today. Basically, using one of the cheapest aircraft that you can get, or cheapest event vehicles you can get off the market, you can basically make this event and every event, both tank and plane and ship, easy peasy to do. Basically, you can also use the Romanian duck that you can get in the Warbond shop as well. But I like the PO2 for two reasons. One, it's a plane, so you can use it in every game mode. And two, it's extremely cheap. And a little added benefit, it's also Russian. And Russia has a really good lineup for both planes, tanks, and even ships. I mention ships because I'm sure there's a few people out there who actually don't care about the ship events. And one of the reasons I'm suggesting you get such a horrible aircraft, which I would actually say that the PO2 is probably one of the worst aircraft in the game, if not the worst aircraft in the game, is because you don't actually need to use it. So the way these events work, and even the dailies as well, but just in regards of rank 3 instead of event vehicles, but the way these events work is you just need to use the vehicle in a match for it to just designate the whole match as valid. So if you spawn in your BT5, for example, which is a reserve vehicle, a very fast one at that, a very good one at that, you get a capture point, you have enough spawn points to go into the PO2. And when you go into the PO2, you just quickly cancel before you actually spawn it. You literally just click to battle in it, and then cancel it. And then you can do whatever you want, because now that match has been designated that you've used the vehicle, even though you haven't. And this trick also works for rank 3. I'll actually have a video tomorrow coming out showing you how to do that as well. But yeah, generally speaking, this strategy works in every game mode, in every, like, whether it's realistic simulator, ground or air or naval. You just need enough spawn points to get into the plane, click to battle, and then Bob's your uncle. You back out and then you use whatever you want at that point. You'll have to forgive my my absolutely horrible gaming this game. It was, I think it was like 9 PM. I had just done like a 12-13 hour shift, and also I was on hotspot internet in European service, so 350 ping, playing on a small laptop screen, exhausted. Honestly, probably the worst I've played ever. As you could see right there, had a really good shot on that dude, and it just didn't work. Yeah, two actually. I actually shot him twice, and neither of the shots worked. I'm recording this after the fact because I didn't have a microphone with me while I was playing this game. Again, just on a laptop, hotspot internet. Honestly, it's a miracle that I didn't drop out of this match. I don't know if you guys saw that. I very quickly clicked the BO2, clicked to battle, and then backed out. Just easy stuff. I love the 1.0, what do you call, the 1.0 Russian lineup. It's extremely fun and very silly. And the BT5 is a joy to play. Generally speaking, you don't actually need to play 1.0. You can play 1.3, you can play 2.3, you can play any battle rating you want, really. As long as you have that event vehicle, and you just click to battle with it. After rank 3, I guess there's no point you even doing that unless you actually want to use the event vehicle. A lot of people come to the conclusion that it's better to play higher tiers because of the, you get the modifier, but really the modifier for playing low tier is like nothing. It's like 0.8, right? And the realistic modifier is like 1.3, so you actually, like, it just cancels out anyway. And on top of that, at higher tiers, people spawn less. You get less points, it's harder. All in all, playing higher tiers isn't really that much worth it, even if you're playing simulator. Especially if you're playing simulator, because if you're trying to get into a high tier simulator game, you're going to be waiting in queue for like 5-10 minutes, so it's just not worth it. You're better off just going into a lower rank game. It doesn't even have to be like a low rank. It can be just like it can be like 6.0, it could be like even medium rank, just a battle rating where people actually decide to spawn more than once. I definitely feel like the One Death Leaving has absolutely killed top tier. If people spawn more, it would really make top tier a much more fun and enjoyable experience. But the way things are, top tier, yeah, it kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I would suggest I see people like leaving more often any battle rating after like 5.0, but you can enjoy War Thunder 2 its fullest to 8.7. You know, after 8.7, I feel like it starts to get worse and worse. 9.3 is still fine. 10.0 is still kind of fine, but anything after 10.0, and yeah, your team's just gonna start leaving one after the other, like after dying once. I feel like there was something else I needed to mention as well. I'm pretty sure it was about the naval. Yeah, so one of the issues with the naval is that it sucks. And if you are going to do the naval events, I'd always suggest using a coastal. One of my favorite vehicles to use, actually, which is actually rank 3, is the PGO2. It is one of the most fun naval vessels in the game, and it's pretty much the only one that I can use without crying myself to sleep. If you want to do something very silly, the German flak barges are also an option. There was also the M802, used to be a huge favourite of mine. They moved it up in battle rating, so it's not as good as it once was. But the brand new Amiens is not too bad. It can also do the same thing as the M802 once could. But yeah, I would suggest just playing lower battle ratings. Try spading out vehicles as well. Yes, you will be receiving a penalty for research and whatnot for playing at this battle rating, but that doesn't actually occur for the modification research, if you didn't know. That is completely unaffected, so if you're researching the modifications for these rank 1s and 2s that you have, yeah, you're gonna be getting something out of that. And on top of that, if you are researching vehicles at rank 1 and 2, that you are like effectively researching, and you finish researching that vehicle, and every bit of research that you got, like if you finish researching all the surplus research, you can also put on like a rank 7, and it won't actually, like, the surplus research isn't affected by the research rank penalty. I would suggest not using that strategy while you're playing reserve vehicles. Probably when you're playing like premium vehicles that like you want to like extend the research life of. I'll probably have a video detailing how you can do that. But generally speaking, it works either way. CAS at this tier is extremely strong. A lot of the vehicles at this tier are either open top or extremely lightly armored. So if you can't destroy them with cannons or 50 cals, larger bombs will often get multi-kills. And if you feel like maybe testing your metal, the Russian biplanes specifically have anti-tank rockets, which once you get the hang of are very effective. I actually ended up using them a little bit later on in the video. These games are very quick as well. The games are very quick, and they are extremely good for points. Again, this is like a worse game. I don't know how many kills there are. I think I got 10 maybe, 9 or 10. This is like one of the worst games that you can expect to get, which is saying something. And it's still got like 5,000 points. Yeah, out of the 35,000 points, you know, like 35 divided by 5, like what is that? It's 7, I think. So that's like that's the star done in a little over an hour. If I were to continually get bad games, which, you know, obviously you keep rolling the die enough, you're probably going to have a crazy game. And if you're using a full lineup, which you always should be using a full lineup, bad games will come very few and very often. It's very rare that you get knocked out like 3 times in a row without getting a single kill. You know, it's very rare that you get a game like that. Even for like worse players, like, or new players, using a full lineup, you're eventually gonna have a decent game. Yeah, I definitely could have played a little bit better towards this bit. I definitely feel like I shouldn't have just ran to the spawn the way I did. Generally speaking, spawn camping is great, but not inside the spawn. Yeah, but the game is pretty much over at this point anyway. But that's one thing I like about this tier as well, because even though the games are kind of over, they're also not. People are still spawning, you can still get points. Often a lot of points. I don't know why I was playing with this guy. I was trying to bait a shot, but he clearly was not going to do it. I probably should have just pushed him. But unfortunately, I spent too much time like mucking about, and that guy ended up seeing me. Yeah, I love the BT5 for its ability to, I don't know what you would call it, but basically, yeah, you can just like fire on the move, like really, really well, and it can change direction extremely quickly, so you can do that kind of forward and backwards thing. Anyone who has ping, or anyone who is inexperienced in the game, will know that it's really hard to like get to shoot a specific part of a vehicle. During when someone's like wiggling their turret, when you've got 200 ping and someone's like wiggling their tiger turret, you can't shoot the flat bit perfectly. You're probably going to hit like one of the angly bits on the turret cheek. And if someone is inexperienced at the game, they just kind of generally shoot at a tank. So yeah, wiggling like that and going back and forth is huge. Even with a tank that has no armor, you're actually so thin that you might just dodge the shot. I always have a massive fan. I definitely think the Russian biplane is probably the best out of all the biplanes. The American one's pretty good too, because it has a 50 cal. But yeah, this biplane is extremely strong. Probably some of the best MGs, 7.62 MGs for 1.0s, and the rockets for the I-15 are absolutely phenomenal. I haven't used them too much, and again, I'm using a laptop screen, so these are really small targets I'm shooting at here. But when you do get a good hit on them, they usually kill them, usually overpressures them actually as well. Yeah, especially if you choose like an open top to rocket, you'll probably end up killing it with no issues whatsoever. I also wonder how much the ping changes where the rockets land. Probably not too much, but enough to make it notable. But yeah, this biplane is extremely maneuverable, and it doesn't really stall out either. So yeah, you can put yourself. The perfect position to actually like land these rocket shots, by the way, I would say, is coming from behind, because one of the hardest things to predict when you're using rockets is the vertical guidance, not necessarily the horizontal guidance. So yeah, just make sure you know like whether it's the left or right wing that you're going to be shooting your rocket out of, and then Bob's your uncle. Make sure you come in at an angle where it maximizes where you hit, because if you hit someone over the engine deck, it usually will kill them anyway. As you can see here, like the result is nothing crazy, only 25k silver lions, nothing crazy. I'm not using any premiums or anything, but that's a pretty decent result for a bad game. That's not too bad, and especially a game that only took 10 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys tomorrow with my new video showing you how to do dailies, and subscribe.